White Living, your resource for living a healthy lifestyle without white flour and white sugar, and I'm here to tell you that I am sick of salmon fillets. So that's why today I'm going to take these salmon fillets, which you can get at Costco or your grocery store, wild caught of course, and make something really yummy for a summer night, which is salmon burgers. I want to tell you that the whole prep process from the moment the salmon's thawed to the moment it goes to the pan or to the grill is about 15 minutes. And the only things you really need are a food processor, your food, a really nice knife, and a cutting surface. So super simple. So what I did is I just thawed the salmon, chopped it up into small 1/4 inch pieces to 1/2 inch pieces, and I put half of it into the food processor. I'm just going to turn this on now, so it's going to get a little noisy. Easy peasy. I just want to chop it up till it gets really fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the rest. So I wanted to start by chopping half of it so that it's really fine, so that as I add the other parts, there's a mix of fine pieces and chunky pieces. What I'm going to be adding to a total of 12 ounces of salmon is about 1/3 of a cup of oats. Now this is important, you off-white eaters, because the regular recipes typically call for breadcrumbs. That's totally cool, but if you're a non-wheat eater like me and try not to eat too much bread, something like oatmeal will work just fine as a binder. So I'm going to now take the rest of the salmon and the oats, and I'm going to pop it in here with my little wooden spatula. And then I'm also going to put in all the spices that I mixed up. So what I have here, a little bit of spices and veggies. I've got some green onion. I've got some fresh sage, but if you don't have that, dried is fine. Some yellow pepper to kind of tie in another part of the dish I'm going to be eating later. Some white onion, some garam masala. This is an Indian spice. If you don't have this, cumin works really nicely as well. And then some sea salt. And if you don't have sea salt, go get some. Now I'm going to take all this and I'm just going to pop it in here. You can use whatever flavors you like. A lot of the recipes I saw online use things like ginger and soy sauce and curry if you wanted to. So it's really up to the flavor that you want in your salmon. And if you have a theme to your meal, you might want to tie in the spices you use with that. I think lemon and dill would also work really nicely as like a classic salmon situation. So I'm going to take the lid, put it back on. Actually, first I'm just going to give it a little stir. Pop the lid back on, push on. Stop it one time, just kind of mix it down a little bit, that way everything is evenly blended. And already I can tell it's getting to that perfect consistency for burger formation. Easy stuff right here. See that? That's going to be fabulous. A little saute in a pan or on the grill. Perfect. Okay, one more time. Okay, so now all I have to do is simply take what's in here, form it into little patties. I think I can make about 4 patties with this because all in all I have 12 ounces of salmon and I have about 1/3 of a cup of oats and the other stuff. So I can make 4 modest sized patties or 3 larger, or if you're really going crazy you can make 2 biggies. And then I'm just going to come to my stove here and I'm simply going to turn my stove on. I already put in just a smidgen of butter. Salmon's a fatty meat, so you don't need a lot of fat to cook with it, but you do want to coat your pan with either olive oil or butter. Make sure you don't overheat your oil, however. So we're just going to let that warm up. I'm just going to make a patty right here. And then I'm just going to take the patty, set it aside for a moment, just make a couple more. So here's another little tip for why these are good. Salmon is a really healthy fish, as most people know, and it's also a pretty calorie-dense fish and a very fat-dense fish. And there are some people who stay away from it or eat small quantities because of the fat. However, when you make it in burger form, you've kind of cut the density of it, so you can enjoy a nice 4-ounce patty, and actually you've eaten a little bit less fat, if that's important to you, than you would if you were just eating a fillet. So just making my little burger patties. Looks like I have enough to make one really, really big one. Don't they look tasty? Now if I wanted to, I could even dress them with more spices, right? It just depends on you. That's the cool thing about cooking. There's no rules. It's just do what feels good and do what tastes good. And then I'm just going to simply take these, make sure the butter is evenly spread out in my pan, cook it on low to medium heat, 3 minutes per side, and then I'm going to enjoy these fabulous patties. with the rest of my meal, which is going to include a veggie quinoa salad. And you can visit my blog at www.offwhiteliving.com if you want some recipes for these and other tasty treats, and a little sweet potato. And in about 10 minutes, we're going to be sitting down to a great meal. So thanks for hanging with me. I'm Rebecca with Off White Living.